If you're on a journey to get to higher consciousness, it's very hard when you have got demonic entities who are really working hard to stop you from getting anywhere on your enlightenment journey. The spiritual will calibrates at 850 on the scale of human consciousness. Demonics calibrate way under 200, but they still may appear in your journey to enlightenment. But know that your will to be, people at lower levels of consciousness say, I want to be enlightened. Well, what you're doing is you're heading in the direction of higher consciousness, and you don't know what you're going to get when you get there. You know, your I, we call it little I because it's your sense of individuality, has decided the best thing I can do now is I want to be enlightened. Whatever that means, I want to be enlightened. So you trigger your spiritual will. And you could remember this from time to time. Remind yourself that your spiritual will to go in the direction of enlightenment is way stronger than all obstacles that you will come across. All obstacles. And then when you get to 850, what's going to carry you beyond 850 is enlightenment itself. The intelligence of enlightenment. It goes way above the scale of human consciousness. And that is what is going to take you beyond 850. So that's all you do is you just say, I want to be enlightened. And just remind yourself, who's enlightened? Buddha. I want to be like Buddha. Why? Because it's the highest and best thing you can become as a human. Everything else, you might have to do a lot of human things while you're here. But if you initiate your spiritual will and say, I have one goal in life, and I want to be enlightened. 850 is so powerful a field. It will bring you to 850. And it's in you, this spiritual will. You just keep reminding yourself, I'm on the journey to my Buddhahood. Does it make it easy on you? No. No. Anything worth having, they say, anything worth having comes with a cost. But that's the journey. You know, it sounds like a negative. Well, the thing is that your spiritual journey, anyone that goes on a real spiritual journey for a lifetime, you don't know what you're going to come up against. And it isn't a cakewalk. It's not like winning a lottery and retiring to the Caribbean. That's not enlightenment. Then why would you want to be enlightenment? Because you can evolve. You can evolve. You can advance your consciousness. Winning the lottery, it's going to make you lazy. You're going to have a bunch of other people waiting on you hand and foot, and you're not going to get enlightened by winning the lottery. But the thing is, how many people, if there's 6 or 8 billion people on the planet, how many people are going to win the lottery? Statistically, unbelievably few. So don't bother setting out your intentions to become, a millionaire, a billionaire. Set your sights on higher consciousness. And then maybe you won't have to reincarnate. What do you mean I don't have a choice? Oh, that's what might happen to you when, you finish this lifetime. When you finish this lifetime, the beings that run planet Earth, whatever they are, they might say, well, you had a choice to go for something spiritual, and you turned it down in favor of worldly things. So it's not like you didn't have a choice. You had a choice. So there are repercussions to not choosing enlightenment. Someone else might say, well, what other words besides enlightenment are we talking about? Higher consciousness. What's higher consciousness? Lots of words. Higher consciousness than what? Than ego. Ego is where I got a lifetime and I'm going to get everything I can for me. I'm going to get a big house. I'm going to have lots of vacations. I'm going to have a male. So let's say I'm going to have 3 wives and 12 children. And I'm going to have a huge business. And I'm going to travel the world. And I don't know, I'm going to be a professional tennis player. I'm going to be on national television. I'm going to be the president. I'm going to be the Queen of England. And anything else I can find along the way. Those things are not capturing the field at 850 on the scale of human consciousness. They might be more like drug addiction. Not too many people respect crack addicts. They call them crackheads. They're not respected. They probably need a lot of help. But people that are crackheads, generally speaking, they're either said, oh, you poor thing, or, you flippin' idiot. So don't go down the path of following your egoic desires. Say, I want to have higher consciousness. I want to be the best that I can be. And it's not in the army. I'm sorry, I'm wearing Colonel Serene's hat. It's enlightenment, higher consciousness, wisdom. It's a path with heart. Someone else wants to remind me, the reason you do enlightenment, according to the words you say, it's for the betterment of all sentient beings. To make it so it's not about you. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. Because if you are saying, I want to be, whatever Buddha did, I want to go in that direction. Someone else says, well, Christ consciousness, or I want to be, don't go too far with that. Why? Because then you're setting yourself up for a crucifixion. No one tells you about these things. I'm telling you now. If you say, I want to be like Jesus, then it means you're setting yourself up for a crucifixion. Do you want to be crucified? No. It's problematic. Do you have to have a crucifixion if you want to go to higher consciousness? It's problematic if you say, I want to be like Jesus. If you go and say you want to be like Buddha, well, you might have to go, no, 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 no. Why do I say that? Because all of these things are beliefs. And if you hook into one of these beliefs and you say, I want to have an experience like they, don't say that. Don't say, I want to have the exact same experience as Jesus or the exact same experience as any of these other enlightened beings. Why? They did it. You can get to higher consciousness your own way, and it doesn't have to involve hooking into all these other beings the way they did it. You just say, I want higher consciousness. There's a million questions. I just answered them. The questions come up. Why did they say all this other stuff? It's bullshit. It's monkey mind saying you got to have all these additional things in your contract for enlightenment. You don't. You just say, what I want is inner peace, which means I don't want a monkey mind talking in my head all the time. I don't want the inner voices. No. I don't want that. I want peace, quiet, higher consciousness, evolution of my being. And then see what happens. There's plenty of other people, monkey minds, that love to chatter. And what do they chatter about? Everything. The other people's minds are not set at enlightenment. So tell them to fuck off. And then if you have inner voices that come, and they also are monkey minds, yap, 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 never shut up, tell them, fuck off. My path is enlightenment, and if you don't want it, that's your issue. And they might bother you because they don't want you to have what you're going for, because it's a hard thing to get. Why is it hard? Because you've got to deal with all kinds of monkey-minded people, monkey-minded voices that won't shut up. Ignore them. Go for it. It's your spirit. Evolve it. You're not going to evolve living here for a lifetime on planet Earth unless you set your intention to higher consciousness. Review the scale of human consciousness and go for higher consciousness. It's your choice. At the end of your life, you can look back and say, I accomplished nothing with my consciousness. I experienced human things. But if you say, I went for enlightenment, you'll raise your consciousness a great deal. You have actually accomplished something that you can take with you into your next life. Everything else that you have as worldly things in this life, they're just memories. And you know, if you have to reincarnate on planet Earth, your past life memories are all mind wiped, so you don't even know what you did in your past lives. But the masters say, whatever you accomplish in raising your consciousness, you get to carry that to your future lives. So that's something you can take with you. It's the only thing, while you're taking the master's advice, but who do you want to listen to? A crackhead or, a Buddha-like being? I'm Colonel Cliff Serene.